Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loads 15, where you've tuned in to a slightly different video than we normally make, where we normally make our daily predictions and our tips. You might remember about a month or so ago we were doing a series called The Loader Look, where I'd take a debate or an opinion or a topic within horse racing and just discuss it really and give you my thoughts and feelings on it, and also as well discuss the debates and argument around these topics that are out there. So the thing we're going to be looking at this week is something that has caused some headlines in the horse racing world and also on the wider scale as well, and also as well it's kind of a bit of a image that horse racing has got maybe with the wider public, and that is actually music concerts being held at race meetings. Like, you go for a day at the races and then you might see someone like Craig David, Ollie Murs, Jess Glynn. They've all been like doing the rounds, as it were, at the racecourses, and they can be good fun, these concerts. I've been to several myself. I remember when I was younger, I went to Newbury and saw Simply Red afterwards. It was days racing, and then Simply Red came on the stage, and it was a good afternoon and good evening. It was really good fun, and if it's managed well, I think it's something that is good. But I did go to one this year, actually, about back in August now. Feels quite a while ago. But I went for Ladies' Day at Newbury Racecourse back in August, and you had the afternoons racing. It was a good card of racing that day, quite a lot of good races. You might remember that I put some selections up on Twitter, and I had not a bad day that day. I remember back in Defoe, Nathan. So, and Mamselle as well. So we had a few good horses that we backed that day. But afterwards it was Ollie Murs on stage, and I don't mind Ollie Murs' music. I quite like some of his songs. But anyway, I was about to watch him, and I was with my girlfriend, and basically we were there. We were at the concert. I was also had some various family members we'd linked up with as well. So it was quite been good fun afternoon. And then all of a sudden, we started the concert, and then I get a whole pint of beer thrown in the vicinity I was, and it caused quite a bit of an argument really, and quite a lot of people around where I was got drenched with a pint of beer, all because some girl, I believe, had got on the shoulders of her boyfriend, and someone didn't like it, a few people behind us, and threw a pint, and it meant everyone suffered. After that, we just decided that we had enough, and it was too busy, and we all really crammed in, and it was not a very good atmosphere. I didn't really enjoy it. Also, the sound wasn't very good. It was very windy and that, and we couldn't really hear any of the music for the few opening songs. So we just decided really to get out there and just head home. But when I was there that day, I've got to say, a lot of the people that were there were definitely not racing fans. And I'm not saying for everyone that goes to the race meetings they have to be a horse racing fan, but I think they should respect the sport a lot more, personally. I think one of the reasons that we need to do that, though, is to actually educate racegoers that are new to the sport a lot better, and we can explain it in more detail to try and get them hooked and interested in the sport that I love, which is horse racing. And that is something I will talk about in a minute. But a lot of the people there that day were just there to have a drink. The queues for the toilets were unbelievable. There were lots of ladies going in the men's toilets, and even the men's toilets were pretty full when they were queued for, just to go in the loo. It was absolutely ridiculous. Newbury could not handle it that day, and I was really disheartened by Newbury. I hadn't been there for quite a long time. I haven't been there for about 6 or 7 years to Newbury, because I just haven't been able to go to the races for a while, and I hadn't been to Newbury in quite some time. So I was really liking all the new development, because they've done a lot of redevelopment at Newbury, and I was enjoying seeing everything. And then when I got there, they just did not have the infrastructure for the amount of people they had there that day. I believe literally it was everyone there to see Ollie Murs or just have a massive piss up, basically, and just have maybe one bet on the racing. I think loads of people that were there didn't even have a bet, And I'm not saying when you go to the races you have to have a bet, but at least appreciate the sport and what's going on. No one really gave a toss, and to be honest, I was really put off by that. Luckily I'm going back to Newbury at the beginning of November for a day out because I'm a member of Racing UK and they've got a club day and that, so I will be going to that, and hopefully it will be a better day, and I'm expecting to enjoy Newbury Racecourse a lot more of all the development that they put in there. But that is something that has been noted a lot recently. You might remember that this is probably why I'm doing this video, is back in September, maybe at the end of August, Craig David was on at Lingfield, and he's been on quite a few times at various different race courses throughout the summer, and he happened to be at Lingfield this evening, and on the way home, after the concert, the car park was absolutely gridlocked, and lots of people were reported for being drunk and violent, and the combinations didn't really go together very well. There was a lot of complaints. I know the people of Lingfield were up in arms. They said that they didn't have the infrastructure for this kind of concert with this many people attending, and I think this is something racecourses need to address better, their organisation planning, if they are to do these concerts. I'm not saying ban the concerts, by all means. I think it's good that there is something that is attracting customers to come and watch racing, but I think these racecourses need to put into perspective how many people actually come just because of the racing or of the concerts, and they need to cater for the amount of people that turn up. Like, for example, have more toilets, better catering facilities, things like that, you know, and better room for where people can actually stand and see the concerts. Because I really wanted to see Ollie Murs, and you guys probably gonna go, oh, you're an Ollie Murs fan, but I was interested to see him perform live and that, and just have a good time, you know. But it was ruined, my my particular occasion. But I know lots of people were really annoyed with what happened at Lingfield. But there have been some good occasions. I know Newmarket and Sandown have hosted successful kind of like race meetings and concert evenings all in one, and that's gone down well, and that's great, and I'm sure there's been lots more. But there have been a fair few negative ones that have made the headlines. And like I said, from my own experience, I can see it is a problem. Now, I know that racecourses, obviously, unless you're like somewhere like Newbury, for example, that has flat and jump racing at their tracks all year round, you're probably going to be not too bad off, like getting people to fairly use you as a racecourse. But obviously, they want to make extra income, because obviously it's costly business running a racecourse. I actually am going to be working at Wincanton Racecourse in about a week or so when they resume racing, and you might see me there on the social media platforms. I'm going to be a social media presenter, trying to educate people about horse racing, behind the scenes kind of look, also informing people about various pieces of equipment that horses use, and just really explaining the racing jargon, and just trying to give people and capture new audiences to horse racing, you know, just trying to educate them really. But they had a race, they didn't have a race concert, but they did have a concert at their racecourse, I should say, back in the summer. They had Jess Glynn, another one that was touring the racecourses, and that went down reasonably well, but they didn't have a day's racing when that happened. But that's something maybe these racecourses need to do. That if they're going to have concerts, they need to do it maybe when the racing isn't taking place. Or if they are gonna like combine the two together, they need to really organise it better, and they probably need to make a better effort to get these people interested in racing. I know the Shergar Cup is something that happened back in the summer, and actually a lot of people got credit for that. The people that organised it, they were pretty happy with how it went that day. I know some of maybe the people that are more reserved and just love racing, they didn't really like the idea of the Shergar Cup as a tournament to get more people interested in horse racing. I actually think it's quite a good idea personally, but yeah, it's quite a controversial one really. I know race courses need like things like concerts and that to draw the people in, to hopefully get some people that come in hooked on racing, but I just think that the authorities and the organisers that run these events need to make it a better experience for everyone that comes. That's by better organisation, better planning, educating the audiences as well that are unfamiliar to horse racing, to get them to enjoy the sport that we all love. And it's a debate that's probably gonna go on for lots more years, many more years, where like obviously we're going to be struggling to get people to come to racing just for racing, so they'll provide days like this with like superstars coming and singing and doing events, and that's great. I've got no problem with that. But if they can just organise it better and maybe limit the amount of places that there are available to people to come, you know, and maybe make more of an effort to try and get racing recognised by these people that just come. Because like I said, my experience in Newbury was pretty shocking actually. That really put me off from going on one of these kind of days, and I probably need to think more. If I did want to go on one of those days, I would probably just stay for the racing and then just go. Unless it was a band that I'd always wanted to see, I would really just go, to be honest. It's something that, unless I can find some racecourses really getting it right. I'm sure that there were quite a few that got it right, but I think there does need to be more consideration. I think Newmarket as well might have had a couple of reports of it not going so well there. So it's quite an interesting debate, really. Do race courses need concerts? Let us know in the comments box below your opinions on the subject. I'd like to know what you've got to say. Also as well, we will be doing more videos about debates within the sport and things like that, so stay tuned for that. Also as well, we'll be doing our tips over the forthcoming week and for the foreseeable future, even though I am quite busy now with my master's degree underway, and I will be doing that work at Wincanton Racecourse as well. So please follow them on their social media outlets, Twitter and Facebook, if you want to see me over there. Hopefully I'll be able to put my face on the camera, but I need to discuss with them soon about what I'm able to do. But anyway, enough of me waffling on. Hopefully you will either agree or disagree with me, and we'll just have hopefully a good debate from this vlog. So we'll be seeing you soon.